Hey guys, good morning. Moin. Good morning for me at least. Alright, we don't really have an agenda today. We're just kind of going to float around and work on some things. We don't really have any major things that we're taking on. Just a kind of like a little bit of nitpicky work. May get the couple exhibits kind of started. We'll see. Hey, Beatty, what's up, buddy? Aiden? And for any of you guys that are new, this is like our new little flamingo lagoon here. Kind of sits here in the rock climbing wall area. And last stream, we worked on the marketplace. Kind of like the little outdoor shopping area. I mean, see, they've got like almost like a flea market. Got sellers out here in the middle of the street. And then the shops on each side. So this area has changed quite a bit. This was a playground, but we just thought this would look a little better. Hey, Sumi. Thank you. Just trying some different little path work here. See if this can make this look any better. Kind of like this one. I think I'm going to end up bringing that back down, but yeah, this one looks better. This one looks a lot better. Yeah, and Beatty, see how the little like the path railing? I think that looks better. Looks a little more modern. Hey, Jonty, what's up, buddy? Glad you could stop by for a little bit. Me and Geekism have some D&D to prep for later this evening. Sundays are for D&D. And we almost had a flamingo escape. Yep, I am too. I told Casey, I said, we don't have anywhere to be and anybody to see. This is going to be... I have not even stepped foot outside the house. This is going to be a true lazy Sunday. There we go. I think that looks a little better. Kind of dressing up the waterfall just a hair. I always think the waterfalls look a little better, like when you have some, you know, like some debris that has kind of, you know, gotten caught up. You know, I don't know. Xander may be a tad small, but we started watching. What is the movie with, like, I don't know if it's Tim Allen but he's like transforming into Santa Claus. We kind of caught a little bit of that yesterday. Of course, we also watched the Addams Family too. So we're not the best to ask for Christmas movie advice. I think we finished watching. Last night we started watching Annabelle Creation, so. Yeah, the Santa Claus. There's like 3 of them. The Grinch. When I was a kid, I always liked the, I'm on a roll with names today. I used to love watching the, remember it was like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but they were like clay figures, and they had the Abominable Snowman, and remember, you guys remember that? That was my jam every year. You know, I don't know yet, Sumi. We're thinking maybe giraffes, possibly. Because remember, we've kind of made the giraffes. We kind of left them out to dry when we moved the market, so we need to kind of rehome them. Oh, really? That's interesting. Rudolph is definitely a thing over here on this side of the pond. Oh yeah, Charlie Brown too, Jonty. You might want to let him check that out. The Charlie Brown Christmas. And when you guys are suggesting, you guys have some pretty good suggestions. Remember, Xander is a little tiny fella right now. You know, I almost feel like this need a tree here. I just don't want to overdo it with Carlos G's trees. Maybe a larger palm here. Or 2. Yeah, there we go. That kind of pulls a little bit of attention to the back there. Beezer, we are, you know, we don't really have an agenda today. We are just kind of just plopping around some ideas, messing around a little bit with the lagoon. Nothing too out there that's going to get us like involved for, you know, 4 hours. It's just kind of like some little nitpicky work that I've kind of wanted to mess with and try to get done. Yeah, I'm excited for next week too. Like I was saying, with that animal talk announcement, it's like I was mentioning, I think this coming up week is going to be very interesting, just because they don't drop something like that on us and then we don't hear from them again until, like, you know, mid-December. Like, something is definitely coming. Even in Shantae's post about the talks, she said we can't, you know, it said something to the effect of, we can't wait to show you more, essentially, you know. So I am definitely excited for next week. You know, I don't know, Beatty, because remember, they kind of had to, they had to almost dumb it down a little bit for Planet Coaster to be able to run on consoles with a limited piece count. So I don't know how much that's really affecting people, or how much it would affect somebody like me. With, obviously, you can see all of these thousands of pieces, but it's one of those things where I think it'll come. It probably won't come until like the end of the development cycle, or, you know, way after, kind of like Planet Coaster did. So this will probably stay PC exclusive for a while, I'd say. At least until they're done kind of doing what they want to do with it. You know, we could actually still make this the giraffe exhibit, but just, you know, now obviously it would be more expanded through here. We could still have the path kind of come up almost like, you know, Giraffe Valley through here that leads over to the giant elephant tree. Because we definitely don't want to, you know, we don't want to relocate all of this stuff or get rid of it, because it's came out pretty cool. And then of course we've got the tigers down here as well. They're taking a swim. Hey, Linda, how you doing, buddy? Gregory Grant has stopped by. And Warbledorp. Kind of use this as a natural barrier too for the giraffe. Yep. Kind of get the back of these buildings filled in as well. And we could probably leave the giraffe, we could leave the, like, their support center back here, but we'll just kind of open this up a little more and maybe put some, I was thinking about maybe having some zebras in here with them. In the Knoxville Zoo, they allow the zebras and the giraffes to mingle as long as there aren't any babies involved. Like, as soon as, like, if one of the giraffes, once she has the baby, they separate the zebras and the giraffes at Zoo Knoxville, because I guess sometimes zebra, it can get a little testy, and you don't want to risk a giraffe birth. with just, you know, kind of trusting the zebras. You know, I was watching some documentaries, man. Zebras can be pretty stinking brutal. Like, I watched this one, the zebra baby was not like this dominant males, and he was trying to drown it in the river. Like, the male zebra was trying to hold the baby zebra underwater. It was like, okay. Like, sometimes you just don't think of, you know, you kind of like we have a prey mindset of zebra, like, you know, just watching them kind of get, you know, mutilated by crocodiles and lions and stuff. But yeah, there's a little more to their lives. Oh, Linda, you haven't missed much. I've been streaming for about 16 minutes. I just figured, because we may jump on and do some Planet Coaster later this evening, like before the D&D stuff starts. And so I just wanted to kind of get in and get our Planet Zoo people, just kind of get in here and get them some footage today and, you know, fly around, see what we can make happen. So yeah, you are pretty early. What we will do is we will kind of really liking this path. How do you say that? Parquet? Parquet? Parquet path? We'll kind of try to keep the actual guest path here over here as much as possible, and then we'll work on a secondary barrier. Here's one coming out to visit pretty early. We're not ready for you yet, dude. Now, we'll get this all cleaned up and looking nice, though. This was some layover from when the marketplace used to sit here. Yeah, these people they'll still have some good views of the giraffe when we're wrapped up here. And the giraffes and the zebra will have a lot more room. Like I said, this will kind of be like Giraffe Valley up through here. Sorry, sir, you have to go. Bet you this... Okay, that did disappear. A lot of times the terrain in Zoo and the path work is extremely weird. It's like sometimes you can remove path, sometimes you can't, terrain, sometimes you can. Earl said, any prediction at all on the pack on the 1.4 update? No. I have absolutely no clue. This is another one of those where I think they could go absolutely any direction. This is just a little tougher to predict than it was with Coaster, you know, because Coaster, you almost knew, like, okay, well, we don't have this, and you know, this is a very popular there are so many animals. It's just, you don't know. I have no clue which direction they're gonna go. I've seen that mentioned a lot on the forums. A lot of people really requesting smaller animals. I know meerkats is a big one, remember? Meerkats, yeah, otters. Big time requests. Yeah, and like we said, seeing that the file, like we've all kind of seen now, with the otter has gotten people really hyped up, kind of like the little otter the otter file that we saw. Yes, Gregory, the mighty manatee. And yes, Block Tech, you do not have to set up until 1:58 a.m. to to watch this. Linda's probably thinking the same thing. Thank God it's not 2:40 a.m. All right, so let's think about this real quick. Let me just see if anything kind of tickles my fancy here with the fencing. Kind of want a nice mixture of implied safety, but non-obstruction view for the guests, if we can help it, you know. Of course, I know this would be a lot closer. I mean, this would be, there would be a little bit more of a gap in real life typically, but we're gonna have to take a little bit of creative liberty here. This part of Planet Zoo soundtrack kind of reminds me of Pharaoh. Did you guys ever play that game? It was kind of like remember the Caesar games, but it was set in Egypt. Like, I think Fire Act, or I forget who made it. I started to say Fire Access, maybe not, but this sounds just like the Pharaoh music. Hey, get back, ma'am. We're not ready for your appearance just yet. Peter, hello. Let me snag you up a moment. But it also is cool that the animal talks are, you know, it just kind of goes to show that they're, you know, I think maybe like that may have given them problems, or that would have been, you know, like a day one release. I don't even think that, I mean, because remember it was in the trailer, so I think that is, it might have just been something that was giving them issues and they've been working on, you know, over the year or whatever. And it's finally just ready to go, you know. Whoops. What the? Come on now. Hey, Lego, what's up, buddy? The 10 aquatic animals I want: puffin, African penguin, walrus, king penguin, little penguin, harbor seal, sea lion, otter, beaver, platypus. Good choices. I want manatees. I think manatee is kind of like such a niche type of animal, though. It'll never come. But, you know, I can hope. You have to be careful with giraffes too and how low you put your rocks, because they will straight up jump up on them. They will be jumping this path. But you can try to, this elephant grass sometimes is a good, kind of like a good blocker. Unless they try to jump up on it, but most of the time you're okay. This will be pretty cool kind of coming down through here once we get it all themed out, you know, now that it's a little more open and you kind of, you know, you bounce around here and you're like, oh my God, there's the giraffes. Awesome. Hey Stan, quick question. Where do you get your inspiration from? You know, a lot of it is just kind of off the top of my head, mixed in with Pinterest, concept art. I go to ArtStation sometimes and I'll put in, you know, I'll just type in zoo concept art or theme park concept. But yeah, a lot of times I just kind of try to, like, I try to design on, like, if I think about places or zoos that I've been and what I want, like what I would want to see in a zoo almost. Like, and that's kind of how I do the theme park designing as well. I just kind of try to get into my head what I would think would look cool to guests or to myself if I was walking around a theme park. And so that's where, you know, kind of a lot of it just, you know, just getting in here clicking around. I wish I had a more like, you know, like a sophisticated answer, but it's just, you know, just kind of jumping in here and throwing stuff together, seeing what sticks. Yeah, Tuesday and Thursdays definitely seem like those are big information gathering days. Those are, seems like they like to hit on those. Thanks, Earl. You know, that's one of the biggest things that I like taking from you guys is when you say I've gotten you back into the game, or I want to go back in and try something now after watching that last stream. That's cool. So see this, we still have our grasses and our barrier up right here, but we're really not obstructing any of the view of what you would want to see out here, you know? Thanks, Sumi. Kind of what I'm doing is just almost just bouncing around a little and kind of getting some areas cleaned up and getting this like giraffe valley put together if you've just jumped on. Earl said, did you ever consider architecture? No, not really. Just, nope, just kind of messing around and having fun in the video game world. That is interesting, though, just, you know, architecture and all that goes into that, all of the like the you know, what's cool about architecture is it's like it's one of those professions where you never stop learning, and like no matter how long you've done it, there's always new techniques and new ways to interpret builds and how to go about builds. I was just thinking about that yesterday. Like, could you imagine? I was seeing this. I think it was one of the old Disney Instagram accounts that like post old pictures, and the one guy had posted a picture of Splash Mountain under construction at Walt Disney World, and I was thinking to myself, could you imagine like the Imagineers and those guys trying to explain, I mean, just like trying to explain how this is going to work and how we want it to look, and that is just incredibly interesting. Like that whole dynamic of having those meetings and explaining like this log flume, like it needs to come out of this giant like briar patch dead tree. It's just like, could you imagine the pitch on that and trying to just make sure everybody's on the same page and understands that. You know, one thing I've kind of took from Earl and Remnant particularly is not worrying about about your foliage kind of overflowing a little bit onto the path. It actually just almost has a little more natural look because, you know, I mean, if we're not talking like Magic Kingdom here, these zoos and stuff, you know, typically they're not like perfectly manicured, and they usually you have a little bit of overgrowth, you know. Look at that lady running. Help! She's got a little lion hat on. Help me! Oh, you know what? I don't even know. 152 animals? Let's see. Where do you see... Zoo overview. Where do you see how many people you've let in? Guess. 495. Earl said, come check out my backyard if you want to see overgrowth. Yeah, mine too. I just went incredibly lazy with the leaves and stuff this year. Like, I just let it, like, whatever happened out there happened. We'll just say the backyard is going all natural this fall and beginning of winter. You know, they were calling for snow here on Tuesday, but I noticed yesterday evening it changed. Now it is, it just shows cloudy. So, but yeah, I thought, we're getting snow a little early. I mean, typically, you know, usually we'll get a snow or two a year, but it's usually like January, February sometime. But yeah, they were calling for snow here on Tuesday. And I was like, oh, great. Does this mean we are in for a long winter? Still kind of keep this as like a little elevated, you know, type viewing up here. And then of course we'll wrap their habitat around over here in just a few minutes, but just kind of wanted to get this entrance, this valley look going. Linda said, send some of the cool weather my way. Yeah, you guys, remember you telling me you all burned up this summer. Are hovering a little bit, but it'll be okay. Yes, right now here it is 45 degrees. It's supposed to get up to 64 today. So here that is pretty comfortable. Like, I could even see us possibly opening windows today. That'll be... 64 is pretty nice. I've got some cousins and stuff in Florida, though. Like, 64, they would... coats and sweaters and toboggans on. But no, 64 here. I live, like, in the upper east corner of Tennessee, and that's a pretty pleasant day. Geekism's up in Canada now. He posted a picture a couple days ago. They got a wallop of snow. Look, it's like she's over here watching us like, what's going on? What are you guys building? And why are all my buddies boxed up? Let them out. Yep, Earl. And everybody thinks I'm from Tennessee. Like, even when I get like the bad YouTube comments, like, oh my God, where are you from? You sound like your uncle is your dad. They always think Texas. Believe it or not, I do get some bad YouTube comments every once in a while. People can be brutal. I don't usually let it get to me, though. Like, my extent of bad YouTube comments is, I'll send them to Jonty and Beyond Drew and be like, get a load of this guy. And we just have like a laugh about it. We'll let your friends out soon. Oh, and you know what we can also do? We can take another step out of Carlos's playbook and get us a little bit of rock work going on at that edge. Kind of just like we were saying, Carlos and Remnick kind of have this little bit of rock technique because obviously our hooved friends would not want to kind of step on these because they're, you know, kind of just so jagged and all over the place. This is kind of like another little natural barrier to kind of keep them back away from the fencing, you know? And it just, in game, it looks cool. Yeah, there's the less technical term. Stay back, buddy. That came out pretty cool, didn't it? Kind of like this observation area here. Whoops. I didn't know that makes a little kiss sound when you favored something. Yeah, Linda, you'll have to remember to come back if you get a chance and maybe kind of skim through this a little bit. Take some of the highlights out and just remember these little pieces we kind of get in here and mess with. That's one thing I always tell Linda too is big thing in this game is just do not be afraid to mix and match themes. I have never just been a one theme type person. Jump in and just try to throw all this stuff together. I mean, you've seen what we were able to accomplish with the ranger station. It's just a big melting pot of themes and nature pieces and props and roof pieces, fencing. I mean, this little kind of stuff right here is just so tedious, but it just really makes a really cool difference, you know, when you're wrapped up. If you can just kind of push through and make it happen. Yep, Linda is part of the melting pot gang now. Patience, patience. That's like the biggest thing in life, though, isn't it? Patience, patience. If you have patience in everything, typically you have a good experience in whatever you're trying to do. If you can practice patience with it. So, I mean, think of how many things you've had work out like you wanted to, well, like when you've rushed it. Almost like all facets of our lives are better and brought together better with patience. Now we've kind of went into the East Asia soundtrack. Carlos is going to watch this and be like, this dude has stolen every single thing I've showed him. From the tree to the rock work. Sorry, buddy. what do they say? Like imitation is the greatest flattery. Oh, I know. I definitely know that feeling, Big Ben's. Credit cards can get away from you in a hurry. I remember when I was 18, MasterCard, they sent me a card, and it was had like a, I think it had like a $1,000 limit, maybe a $1,200 limit, and I got that card, and I went to the mall. I think I maxed it out in 2 days, maybe. I mean, I bought shoes and clothes, and that was when I was 18, right? I didn't pay that card off. I don't even remember how long it took me to pay that card off, but yes, credit cards, if you let it and you're not sensible with it, they can get away from you. I kind of have a new philosophy now. Because I have credit cards and stuff, I just don't hardly ever like try to use them, and unless for like gas and stuff like that, and just something that you can kind of pay off quick. But I've really tried to take the philosophy of, if I don't have cash, don't get it. Hey Lee, what's up? We are unknowingly, we've kind of gotten into like Giraffe Valley here. So we are trying to create a new, because remember, we've been kind of working on the Flamingo Lagoon here in the new shopping center, but that kind of left the giraffes needing to be rehomed, because remember, right here on each side of this valley was the shopping center and the smaller giraffe exhibit. So what we're doing now is we're kind of like reinventing this area, and we're going to have giraffes and zebra in here together, kind of like down this whole area leading to the large tree and the meerkat exhibit, or the implied meerkat exhibit. So yeah, we are focusing on some giraffe work now. Yeah, I think this will give us some really good sight lines of the giraffe too. Maybe put some in, let this spill over onto the path a little bit, and put some information boards over here and some seating. If you all will take these little pieces right here, your temple stone support beam 7, they actually make, we'll put some real benches, but they kind of make some pretty cool little like rock work like fake benches as well. Because you can kind of conform them to the rocks a little, see? And you've kind of got like little bench border there you can set on. And I also use them as like, I'll use them right here where the path breaks. And it just, I think it just looks cooler than that, just the regular little brown line there, you know? Got a pretty big lip, but that's okay. See, just kind of helps break up the path a little better, I think. Yeah, thanks, Lee. Those did come out really, really stinking cool. DZ Studios popped in for a minute. DZ, we are working on kind of like the Giraffe Valley area this go around. Hey, there's old Poison Blade. How are you, man? Poison Blade's been hard at work lately in some Planet Zoo action. Building myself into a corner. Hey, I know that feeling from time to time. Check this out, Poison Blade. I got rid of the playground that was here, and now we have a big flamingo lagoon. And we kind of moved the shopping center, and we've started a giraffe valley. You know, nothing much. Hey, thank you, Simple. Thanks, Poison Blade. Yeah, so see now, instead of just the kind of like the unusable playground, this is, now we've kind of turned it into a nice little lagoon, kind of water feature type area. Got the big eucalyptus trees kind of towering over. Really like, you know, kind of giving the area some presence, and I think it, I think this little spot turned out pretty cool. And I was telling everybody too that I think we will, if we end up getting some kind of semi-aquatic animal coming up hopefully soon, we will relocate the giant anteaters, and this will be some kind of lagoon area as well. I was even thinking, like, as far as those files go, this could be a perfect giant otter area. And you know, I could also even kind of go with making it look like this lagoon spills down into their water. So there's a lot of different routes we could take, or I could have a waterfall system coming from there, and these, you know, these two would be separated. But you know, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of different angles we can take with that. But that's what I'm kind of most excited about, is if we do get otters, and just to see what they've done with the swimming mechanic and diving, and you know. That path has turned out pretty cool. Earl's trying to drop some knowledge on us. Alright, now let's try to... I'm going to try to get this edited. Some more people running. Okay, I think we have them boxed in enough to where they cannot escape now. Let me just go shore up this over here. You know, Simple, I don't know. I probably tend to agree, like as far as theming goes, I really enjoyed what the Australia pack brought to the table, especially with the fencing. Fencing's theming for me is the biggest deal because, you know, I mean, unfortunately, it's like I've said before, the animals tend to be kind of like sometimes an afterthought, whereas the theming, that's kind of where my enjoyment from the game comes. So, you know, I'm always on the lookout for what the next theme's going to be, what kind of pieces they're going to give us. Okay, so this is, this has given them a lot more space than they had. I'm feeling a lot better about this so far. And they have, like, even back here where the keeper enters at, they have their privacy back here as well. So that's cool. And their water feature back there. Entirely too large of a waterfall, but it works. It works. Suyana is, I want to say, 22 episodes now? Maybe 23-ish? Oh yeah, Jake, I was thinking about maybe jumping into that, too, maybe later today at some point. We have not been in old Planet Coaster in a while. Man, that looks a lot better. Don't you agree? There we go, now the gang is free. Whoops, I've got this pole sticking up out here. Hey, look, we're finally getting this secondary fence put up. Remember when we first started, like when I first started seriously streaming? We said, like, this was the first thing that me and Drew and I clicked on, and I was gonna try to build a little barrier here. Hey, better late than never. Hey, Luan. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, thank you, Dagmar. I was actually able to stream during a suitable time for you. Kind of just doing a little secondary barrier right here to kind of keep our very long-necked friends back. And I call these little temple rocks the Carlos G72 technique. He used this over in the Amani Trail section, and I just thought it came out really, really cool over there to kind of keep the animals back. Yeah, Warble, it's just, I think it just looks a little more realistic to kind of keep them, have that little secondary fence going to kind of keep them back from people. Or keep people back. Hey, Micah. Micah, we have started Giraffe Valley. This is kind of what we've gotten into, where we've expanded the giraffe habitat a little bit, and now people can come down through this whole path. Hey, that kind of looks like a giraffe. Look at the path. Like, see the neck and then the little head here? That was random. So yeah, now we've kind of dressed up the giraffe habitat a little bit. You know, I know that this game usually, once you start something like this, it spins off more ideas, but it would probably be good for one of these streams coming up if we could maybe go back and try to redo the elephant habitat like this. Make theirs a little more believable. It's elephants, Mr. Frodo. Whoops, I've got their little gate a little too high here, don't I? Giraffic Park. Guess the barrier's too close. Hey, Drew, what's up, buddy? Heather G. There we go. There we go. Now they should be able to... Now they should be able to get in here to our guys. Check this out, Drew and Heather. We have started the Giraffe Valley here. So now the guests can kind of come down through here and see the, you know, because remember the marketplace sat right here. And now we're going to have some giraffes and some zebras back in here. And it still kind of all leads back to the big elephant tree, but I think that whole little area just looks better now. So you can even stand up here on this little, like this walkway, and see the huge tree back there. Yeah, thank you guys. About to start a gingerbread house. Yeah, Drew's got a stream coming up here and not much longer. I'm gonna jump off myself and go grab something to eat and then probably catch his stream. Oh, somebody asked earlier if yes, I think what I'll do is I'll do a new cinematic of Suyana, not talk in it or anything, but just get some updated cinematics now that we've kind of done so much and moved around so much of this stuff, and I will put this version on the workshop this evening at some point. You know, at one point we had talked about the giraffes actually going over here, and now I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I just think this looks so much better. You know, it seems like for me, when I'm narrowing these exhibits, but making them longer, it seems like I theme them better, you know? And what I mean by having them just thinner coming through here, but farther, I just theme them a lot better than take for the elephants, for example. See how kind of plain this is? It's wider like this, but not themed very well. Now that I've kind of taken some tips from Remnant and, you know, Drew and Carlos, those guys, Poison Blade, this is not really what we're going for with Suyana. This is terribly, terribly plain. I mean, even remember over here with the Indian rhinoceros, Indian rhinos over here. Just look how much better this looks. Thinner. Yeah, Squantoon, personally, I think the longer, narrow, big exhibits look way better than a giant circle. I think you're right. And typically more realistic. Like you know, from real zoos, when they're a little more narrow, kind of like this, than just the wide giant circle. Interesting, interesting. Linda said, I'm beginning to like Sundays. Yeah, Sundays I am not so hemmed up with work really late. Well, I mean, not necessarily late for me, but late for you guys. And you know, Drew, also too, with like what Shantae was saying, you know, I don't want to get too expansive here because we don't know what type of animals we could have, you know, in the next 20 days. So I don't want to, you know, I mean, part of me wants to blow a bunch of stuff up and part of me's like, wait, Estan, just wait. We don't know what's coming. And see, Drew, this is my Carlos and Remnant technique where they like up against their secondary fencing, particularly where they don't want their, you know, their hooved animals to go, sinking in these little rocks, you know, kind of obviously it would make it uncomfortable on them so they don't step in it and they don't get close to the secondary fencing, you know. So keeps animals happy, keeps guests happy. No mischief. And it just looks cool. When in doubt, try to make it look cool. Oh yeah, that tree looks good, kind of butted up against the wall over there. Kind of really almost focuses your attention. Whoops, sorry guys. Almost focuses your attention down the valley. Kind of almost like forms the vision down through there. Cool, cool, cool. And gives a little bit of shade over here. So how do you guys think this little bit of spontaneous streaming work ended up happening? I think we got a pretty good bit done. Ooh. Breakfast time. I just had a scrambled egg and cheese breakfast this morning. Here come the gang. That guy's like, hey, I want some. Thanks, Heather. I thought you'd like this little section. See, we're not getting rid of the giraffe. We just kind of had to box them up for a little bit while we kind of while we rescoped their area. Oh, this would be a good... Let me pause these guys a minute. This will be a good... you know me and Drew, we are always after the thumbnails. See if I can get a good thumbnail here. Oops, let me adjust my depth of field. Whoops. Adjust the depth of field a little bit, make those mountains blurry back there. And snap. Yes, gotta find some good Instagram posts. Oh, I know, Drew, that would be cool. Hey, there's Sarah. Sarah was kind of worried that we were going to get rid of the anteaters, but not necessarily get rid of them, more so rehome them somewhere. Because we need this for some aquatic space. Oh, though, you know what we were also going to do? I was going to add just a little family of giraffe in here with these guys. Let's just go into animal trading. We'll do that before we take off. Whoops. There we go, plain zebra. Oh, these are, well, most of these are pretty decent. We'll adopt her and him. Well, it's okay. We'll adopt her too. Let's get them out here a minute and see what they look like. There's all my little gharials still in quarantine. Don't know. I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of them. All right, let's see what some giraffes or some zebras look like in here with our giraffe buddies. Hey, Rim. Yeah, Heather was saying the same thing. She's like, I did not get a notification about this. YouTube's gonna YouTube. Here they come. Check this out, Rim. We have created a giraffe valley here, kind of. Remember, this was kind of taken up by a market area that now sits over here. Kind of, we shifted it way over to the left and turned it, but that left this big gap right here with nothing happening. And so I thought this morning, kind of when we got in here and started messing around, I'm like, why not just elongate the, look, my rock idea is not working with this guy. He is like, forget your rocks. I want to see. But we elongated the giraffe exhibit. And we literally just added some zebras. And I just think it looks a lot better now. The guests have a lot more, you know, like almost like clean access to them now. Whereas before, remember, this was the only area that you could see the giraffes. So now we've got a long, like I was telling a couple of the guys here, it almost looks like a giraffe neck. See the path and then the head up here? So that coincidentally worked out pretty cool and creepy. Yeah, Drew, everybody will have to head on over here in a few minutes once I kind of wrap this up and see what kind of mischief you get into. That came out pretty cool, I think. Oh yeah, we still have our lions locked up too. I think we'll focus on that next stream, because remember the lions, we're kind of going to get them moved probably over this in this area. I've just got so many ideas that it's going to require some shifting. But I am really happy with how we've just been having some really, really productive streams. The lagoon, the moving of the marketplace, the giraffe valley now. This is coming together pretty cool. See, Rim, I've kind of taken the implied, I was telling Drew, taking the implied Carlos technique of having like the little bit of rock and kind of stubble out here up against the initial fence, just to kind of, you know, give the illusion of keeping the giraffe back, like they don't want to walk on that. So it just kind of popping a little bit of realism in there. And they stay back for the most part. Sometimes they trot over on it, but it seems like they're kind of keeping their distance a little bit. So I was saying last time, the animators for Frontier do not get paid. Like whatever they're getting paid, it's not enough. Because these are incredible. But yeah, guys, I guess I will jump out of here and let you all probably catch a bathroom break, grab something to drink, and probably we've got like 9 or 10 minutes to get ready for Drew's stream. And yeah, I may even jump back in here later this evening, or we may try a Planet Coaster stream. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I might have to knock that off for right now, because I'm kind of just so pumped about how this turned out. I kind of want to start getting the ball rolling on some other things, and kind of seeing what we can make happen. So yes, thank you guys for stopping by, hanging out with me here for a little bit. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. If you get a chance, let's head over to Drew, see what he's got going on. Thanks, guys.